authoritarian reach. Here's Congressman John Mulinar.
The Select Committee on China recently released a report highlighting growing ways the People's Republic of China is working to expand its influence throughout the United Nations. The report outlines several ways the CCP has tried to expand its influence across the UN system through financial contributions and placing PRC officials at key roles in the UN.
The report says China is, quote, exploiting the UN, installing its own personnel in key posts, bankrolling initiatives to counter the United States, and deploying UN troops to secure its business interests. The report explains how the CCP's capture of senior UN positions has allowed it to influence peacekeeping missions. This gives the Chinese army more operational experience and has allowed them to secure areas with Chinese investments. The committee says the United States should keep holding the UN system accountable and keep reining in bureaucratic bloat. It comes as U.S. Ambassador to the UN Mike Waltz is testifying before a House Appropriations Subcommittee today. He says the Trump administration will continue to push for the UN to return to its original mission, streamline its bureaucracy, and cut its budget.
We are working towards a leaner and better prioritized 2026 budget going forward. In December, we led member states to adopt a historic 15% cut, $570 million, out of the UN's regular budget. That will eliminate nearly 3,000 headquarters positions, and for our contribution, it will reduce our assessment by $126 million. So just in the 6 months that we've been here, we will see going forward a $126 million savings to the U.S. taxpayer. We've also pushed for a 25% reduction in peacekeeping troops.
The U.S. currently funds roughly 1/5 of the UN budget, the most out of any member state. The ambassador says the Trump administration is pushing to wind down some ineffective and costly UN peacekeeping missions, eliminate duplication, and reduce the size of the agency. He stresses that the U.S. will not fund organizations that are contrary to U.S. interests. The UN will also stop participating in some UN agencies that undermine U.S. sovereignty and cannot be reformed. Waltz states that future funding will depend on continued progress, efficiency, and accountability. He says the Trump administration believes the UN has great potential and will push for the UN to return to the original mission of maintaining peace. The U.S. military says it struck an alleged drug smuggling vessel in the eastern Pacific Ocean, leaving 3 survivors. The strike is the latest in the Trump administration's campaign against drug trafficking. U.S. Southern Command posted on X that it immediately notified the Coast Guard to initiate a search and rescue mission to locate the survivors. According to Southern Command, intelligence confirmed the low-profile vessel was traveling along known narco-trafficking routes and was engaged in drug trafficking. The U.S. military has carried out more than 40 strikes in the eastern Pacific Ocean and Caribbean Sea. A Senate-appointed panel in Washington examines China's malign influence in Latin America. The U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission investigates the Chinese regime's growing threat in the West.